All right then. Seems we're right on time today. All right, thanks. We're on. Okay, today we'll be talking about some very important conversation surrounding Nigerian politics. Okay, um, for a start, we'll be talking about the controversy behind cattle rearing. Um, if you notice recently, Nigeria has issue with cattle herders, cattle rearers, mad people. the mala wey dey move a cow up and down in the streets. It's shocking that you have, at least, don't let me say shocking. It's interesting that you have cows in Nigeria that know how to use their pedestrian bridge. They don't cross the road there, blocking the traffic. They use the pedestrians bridge. What a strange country, man. You know, the cow are invading the streets. And this is worrisome. Okay? Now here you see in the picture the cattle going over the pedestrians bridge. You know, that's a good thing, right? Improvement, right, for the animal, right? At least they know they have to avoid the traffic. Except in, of course, this case where they shut down the whole traffic. Okay, and this one here too. See, now Nigeria is a scenario where you have cattle owners bringing their catches into the streets, as in into the urban setting, as in human cars are fighting for right of ways with what? With cows. in this day and age, that is strange. That is really strange. Now, today we'll be talking about this bill introduced in the House of Representatives and in the Senate to actually introduce or legalize cattle ranching in Nigeria. The cattle ranch is a system whereby you have your cattle within a designated compound or location, restricted movement, so that these cattle will not find their ways into our streets. Okay, they will not obstruct our traffic. And as a matter of fact, they won't find their way into our children's classroom. Can you imagine that? Tattoos in the classroom. Huh? This is where you are supposed to have your kids learning, right? Mhm. And Nigeria, as a country, we proud ourselves in our education. That's one of the most important part of my country. Okay? We have a lot of well-educated people, and this is exactly where it starts. Basic background in the classroom in the elementary level. But now, elementary classes is now for the cows. C for cow. Now, well, cows. Sorry about that. My microphone just went off. You know, cows in the classroom. That is one strange world. Unbelievable. So, the Senate is trying to do is to at least edge us closer to civilization, which is not too much to ask, right? Most civilized world practice ranches where these cattle were kept or are kept in secluded area where their freedom is restricted. You don't see cows around the streets in the US, okay? But that doesn't mean that the United States don't have cattle. Of course, beef is number one meat, in the US. So how are they managing this? By using various ranches here and there. And plus, studies have shown, times without number that ranches, have the chances of being more productive than these traditional cattle herding, whereby you see cattle in the streets and in our classrooms. So I wonder why Nigerian lawmakers fail to actually do the needful here, which is push this bill to go through and legalize cattle ranches and make cattle herding on the streets become illegal. Because it's unbelievable that at this day and age we allow cows on our streets, in our classroom. It doesn't make any sense. Now, Nigeria sometimes, we today are too smart. We today are too smart. It be like say we sabi over sabi everything. Now, look at this lawmaker here. Oh, no, it's not a lawmaker, but it's representing some of the lawmakers from the northern part of
powers
the
of the
country.
National Assembly.
And his main idea is that the bill to restrict cattle herding or cattle rearing on the streets is unconstitutional. Okay, this is why I said we be over sabi people. Who cares if the constitution doesn't really rectify this particular part? The most important thing is your common sense. Okay, now listen to him briefly. This is an interview on Arise News with these gentlemen here. I want you to listen to the interview.
Tell us why.
Absolutely, they don't have the constitutional powers because the legislative powers of the National Assembly are defined in Section 4, 1 to 3, sub 1 to 3 of the Constitution. But however, those powers are limited by the list of items enumerated in the first schedule, which is the exclusive list, and the concurrent list. Unfortunately, the bill does not pass the acid test of legislative competence of the National Assembly because the only item, in fact, throughout the exclusive list, there's no authorization for that bill, to the best of my knowledge.
So let me just stop right there, because what he is going on and on about is the idea that this particular bill is unconstitutional and it shouldn't be brought forward. And so he's not the only one who opposed this bill. A lot of lawmakers from the northern side of the country actually opposed this bill to get rid of cows on our streets and in our classroom. Why? Because in their lame arguments, they said that this is tribalistic in nature. That is, they are trying to phase out the nomadic lifestyle, which is that of the cattle herders from the northern part of the country. Okay. Are we, the rest of the country, supposed to care about the nomadic lifestyle? Whereas now we have cattle in our classrooms, on the streets, blocking traffic. Come on. This doesn't make sense at all. Okay? Now, make everybody keep their cattle in ranches. That way, we can ascertain the safety of human beings on our street, safety of our kids in our schools, you know? And this is just not civilized, you know, and there's no particular advantage to this, to the society, that we should keep the nomadic lifestyle by having cattle on the streets and everywhere, wherever they want to, you know, keep them in ranches, you know, have fences, you know, around cattle, you know. And statistics have shown that cattle breed better in ranches, you know, milk better in ranches than when you let them loose on the street. Come on, our safety should be most important. Besides, it makes us look bad to have cattle in the classrooms and on the streets, you know, it makes no sense. So I wonder what these lawmakers are thinking for actually pushing these archaic, primitive idea to continue to go on in Nigeria. You know, have a second thought, guys. You know, and let's use our common sense. It's not everything that you want to attach to the Constitution. You know, the Constitution is not perfect. You know, it's not perfect. So we are supposed to use our God-given common sense. You know, sometimes. And so my next issue today, edging away from this cattle rearing on the streets, is about this man here. Okay? Very dark man. You see, this is the lesson that most Nigerians haven't learned yet. Why do you keep falling into the same trap with very dark man? I love this guy, I must tell you, okay? Not because I like everything he says or everything he stands for, but I just love the fact that he will put it into your face no matter who you think you are. And we need more of that in Nigeria, okay? You know, don't look, stop ganging up against people with voices, and these voices are against the most powerful people in the society. When you have somebody like that who could stand for the little man, the little guy, come on, we should embrace that. We should all embrace that. That's a good thing, you know. So these, you know, anti-Yabo fans and Cubana fans coming for a very dark man, I don't really understand it, you know. Look, and for Yabo Joe and Cubana and every other person that have been in very dark man's trap, I think you are unnecessarily buying the bait. You know, this guy is the best out there when it comes to setting the bait. But you keep falling for it. You know, you keep falling for it. Just ignore him. Like the other time when he has issue with Daddy Freeze, okay? I said earlier on, I said Daddy Freeze should learn to keep his mouth shut. You know, after all, this is one time how we need him to keep his mouth shut. There's no reason at all for him to respond to Very Dark Man. But guess what? He didn't listen. Okay, he put his teeth around the bait and bit into it, you know, and eventually he turned out horrible. Okay, turned out that Daddy Freeze completely disrespected himself as an outcome of that, you know. So look, as much as I like Very Dark Man and how he's confident, you know, putting it true to any of the powerful figures in our society, I don't sometimes like his message, but I love his gutsy. Okay, I love his gutsy. I love people like that. you know. But this is one antidote to that. For anyone being put on the hot spot by a very dark man, all you need to do is keep your mouth sealed. Don't respond. Okay? Obi Kubana shouldn't have said anything. He shouldn't have even mentioned very dark man's name. Same thing goes for all the rest out there. I wanted to play this video by very dark man, where he's talking about people coming for him, ganging up on him. I want you to listen to some of this.
Influencers that belong in this category where they will collect people's hard-earned money for advertisement, they will not do it, and they will eat the money. I just pray to God, make all this money one they collect. Make God no knack una one sickness. So if you see the money go finish, una go sell properties, una go still beg, and una go still do that problem. Ashmushi, you are a bad person. You are a very bad person. And things like this is the reason why all of them, they gather themselves, may they come on me from this media, right? This is why there's no reason else. Now, somebody paid Ashmushi 1 million naira. This is the receipt for 500,000. That's okay. Do an advert for me. I sell building materials.
Okay, I don't want to go into details of him mentioning names. Of course, you guys are in the middle of all the brouhaha out there. You know what Very Dark Man is all about and what he's doing, but my thing is, you guys don't really have to respond, because Very Dark Man reveled in your response. That is how he actually grows. It's like it's a steroid for him, Once you respond back to him, you just gave him the steroid to do his thing. And he's just going to go on riding over you, I'm yet to see who is that guy that have won battle against Very Dark Man. I'm yet to see it, okay? Now, this guy, Very Dark Man, doesn't really mind to go dirty, okay? He doesn't really mind to go down to the gutter. But you should ask yourself, are you ready to go down to the gutter with him? I mean, every time he put out this mess, okay? Well, I call it mess because it's messy for the people he's talking about. But every time he put out this stuff, okay, you keep responding to it as if to say maybe you too, you need that attention, you need that suction. You just want to get in the middle of things, but I believe you don't need it, If you keep your mouth sealed, Very Dark Man is going to yap and then stop. If there's nothing else to say, I wonder what else he's going to say about you. But every time you keep responding, and what you do is to give him a transcript of a new idea of what to say about you. Come on, guys. Yeah, we love the guy. He's doing well, and he's touching base on things that is needed to be heard. Some issues are not necessary. He touches some issues that I don't really like, and which shows that sometimes he made mistakes. And one thing I don't like about him, you will never see him come back and apologize for whatever he said that went completely wrong. For example, the last time a case happened in Abuja where a particular restaurant or store turned down Nigerians from patronize. It's a Chinese store. And where Very Dark Man stood on that particular case is not really satisfying. You are someone who is known to be fighting for the little guy, especially fighting for an average Nigerian. When did you start fighting for the foreigners or fighting for Chinese restaurant or Chinese business? When did you start doing that? Come on. Don't lose the focus. Don't lose the target. It turns out that eventually the Chinese were guilty of that particular issue in Abuja. But I didn't remember Very Dark Man coming back on air to apologize for what he said. You know, but all in all, this guy is great. You know, I love him. You know, and I like his guts and love people who can put it out there. You know, towards the big guys. You know, I see myself the same way. You know, like I will nail anybody. I don't care. You know, just be sure you don't cross my path because I don't really care. You know, and like very dark man, you know, I'm ready to go to the gutter with you. If you want to get messy, I'll mess you up. You know, but the thing is, I still respect people. You know, here and there. I believe everybody carries their value. It's just that we have these unnecessary mentality in Nigeria to oppress one another. So immediately you have this little change for your pocket. Once you get this little change for your pocket, you want to be oppressed. Yeah? You know, that I don't really like. You know, I want people to be able to see each other the same way, and that would help us a long way. I would really love the rich and the poor to be able to dine together in the same place, you know, just like a free world would be. But we just have this mentality that, you know, what makes us strong is to oppress the small guy. Come on, that's not right. And that is one of the reasons why I like Very Dark Man. I think you guys should just get off his back, you know, and leave him alone. Let him do his thing. You know? You can't have your cake, you know, eat it, and then ask for it. It's not possible. When Very Dark Man stand up for you, you see him as a hero. And when he says something that goes against someone that you really like, then you start coming for him. That's not the way things work. And do not expect people like him to have a reverence for some particular people. He should be able to go after anyone. And if he doesn't do that, you know, I'm here to do that. You know, I'll go after anyone. I don't really care. You know, in the last political phase, you know, practically the same thing. You know, all the politicians. And I'm the kind of person that always says, politicians, I don't really like them because it's always the same agenda. The agenda is always selfish, self-centered. You know, people fall into the trap of buying whatever they say, thinking that they could do right by them. But politicians don't care. They never care. They never do. You know? All right, guys. This is La Blue. Okay? In my new look. I hope you like this. You know, this is my new look for Mostly Nigeria show. And I'll be coming on this show once in a while to chat, just to talk about important issues. And I will be getting to a point where I will take calls from friends, so that you can share your opinion, that you can share how you feel, and so that we can kick it together. And all right, I'll be chatting with you very soon. And for now, please, I want you to check out OGM News website. OGM News website. OGM News website is a news website that shares most of the daily news with you on their website. We've gone far, with different news drop that may be of a big interest to you. And I just wanted to check it out, check it out and let's know and see, hear your opinion. It's a new website, but we try to put things in order just to make sure we compete with the big guys out there. Punch, Guardian, it's not very easy, but we are already in the network. So we need your support, okay? Support the little guy. So go on online on ogmnewsng.com to read your news. And Peace out, guys. I will see you in the next chat, hopefully tomorrow or sometimes next week or this week. Sorry. Um, see you again. And the name again is Lavlu. Okay.